Welcome back to TBI Analytics Podcast, where we are here in Irvine, California with Hani Habbas and his law firm with his mother and a brother that works here. It's amazing. What an atmosphere to be a part of. And I just met you just now, so I would love to just open this up and get to know you a little bit better. And we're just going to have a casual conversation and get to know you and what you're bringing to the table here in this personal injury arena, and share some golden nuggets, maybe about some TBI processes that you're going through and what your experience is handling clients with traumatic brain injury. But for now, I would like to get to know you. And Hani, tell us a little bit more. What inspired you to become an attorney?
Oh, wow. This sounds like a therapy session. I'm enjoying this already.
All right.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Well, yeah. My name is Hani Habbas. I'm with HH Law Firm. I just started my law firm in April and moved into this gorgeous office. I have a great team with me. We do personal injury, obviously. And, since we started, we're now up to like over 150 cases, and everything's just been working really fast and really quick. And I think a part of it is, you get people that come to me and they tell me their story. Mm-hmm. And I think that the most surprising thing for them is that they're like, wow, I'm really actually talking to the attorney.
Yes.
I'm actually talking to the attorney. I'm not talking to a middleman or whatnot. And then the next thing that I think they really appreciate is, okay, he's listening to my story. Mm-hmm. This isn't like, okay, let's just get this thing moving.
Get it going.
Yeah, sign the paperwork.
Yeah, and sign that dotted line.
After you sign this, you're never going to see me again. I'm going to go back into the shadows.
I'm going to be a phantom now.
Yeah. The man behind the mirror, if you will. But no, it's kind of been it's been a pretty journey so far, and I'm really grateful. I think it's really important that I think the thing that's helped me grow is a great team, to be quite honest with you, and being appreciative of that team.
Yes, that goes so far.
You see a lot of these big firms, and that's kind of like, that is actually like my my niche, if you will, is like, we pride ourselves on not being this big billboard law firm style, attorneys or whatever. And I'm not hating on any of the big billboard attorneys,
Sure.
I think it's, for me being a small guy, I have to find, where I fit best,
where's
with what
your
I have.
element? What's your personality fit in? And I see that with your personality, it's personable. You want to get to know who you're helping. You actually want to see the outcome of this person get better.
And it's so important to be like amorphous in this industry. I think that what helps me connect with my clients is that I'm able to kind of be a chameleon, if you will, and it's not fake. For me, it's like, if you're coming from the streets, I could talk to you like a street person. If you're coming from a very corporate professional position, well, I can do that too. But I think that, like, ultimately what each and every one of my clients see is they see a real person.
Yes. You actually humanize it by maybe putting yourself in their shoes and actually experiencing what they might be going through.
Yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely. And it's like, that's the thing is every client has a story, and I think that the thing that I think is like super important, and it's, I don't know, it's this might sound deep, but I believe in turning these people's pain into power.
Oh,
they feel helpless. They feel lost.
Yes.
In a way, the whole legal landscape, it's like a different language, right? So I see myself as like a translator.
Yes.
I help to translate their like legal issues and into solutions, and so
it's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Because yes, it is a lot. It is a convoluted industry. You don't know exactly how to handle these claims, as far as even talking to the other side on your insurance company, right? It's like when you get in an accident, I think most people really don't know what to do initially.
Yeah.
Just an average Joe doesn't know,
Well, it's scary. Some people have
Yeah.
never been in an accident, so when they
Right.
first get into it, they're scared. They're fearful.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know what's going to happen. They don't know, what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where I bring value.
Yes.
People like I think I'd be out of a job if like the insurance companies made it easy,
Well, 100%.
right?
Yes.
Because like then it's
Yes.
like okay, but for me, you know. I think it's really important when I first speak to a client, I let them know, and I think this eases a lot of their worry. I'm like, look, I'm going to take care of everything for you. I'm going to talk to the insurance companies. I'm going to talk to the lawyers. I'm going to talk to witnesses, all of that. All I need you to do is get your treatment. Like, I can't go to the, I'm a
can't
lawyer.
do the treatment
yeah,
for
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
I can't go and get the adjustments. I can't go and see your medical providers. That's not what I do. And I'm not one of those people that's like, like, oh, I need to build up this case. Like, I believe my clients when they say they are going through something, sometimes I'll get a client's like, oh, like, what should I do next? I'm like, I'm not you. Like, I don't know what you need next. Where does it hurt? Where,
Yes.
what are you suffering? What
Right.
are and then from there, like, as lawyers, we have networks as well. We have networks with doctors and different
Sure.
facilities and medical providers. And, depending on what the nature of their injury, I'll tell them, hey, here's a list of people that, we've worked with in the past that are great, that our clients have been really happy with.
Yeah, comfortable getting to know.
Check them out.
Yep.
Do what you think is best.
Wonderful. And so that way you are just being a guide to where they can go, and you're not actually that person telling them what to do.
Yeah, a
It's
facilitator
like-
of sorts.
Exactly, a facilitator.
Yeah,
That's what these people need. In fact, just last night, I was talking to a girl who, when she found out that I help people with traumatic brain injury and I've been involved in a personal injury accident, she goes on to tell me that she was involved in something like this right before COVID, and she had no idea how to navigate this. And she was hit by a commercial Vaughn's truck.
Oh, wow.
And
Life-changing.
literally pushed her into even, forward. It hit her hard. And she very well could have had a brain injury, but because she didn't have a solid attorney that she could turn to, she just didn't even want to deal with it. And I think she ended up getting like maybe $3,000 out of something like this, where her kid even had a tooth come out. That's how hard they were hit. And to not know that they could have gone after that commercial policy to really help their, treatment throughout, I just wish she knew me before, right?
Yeah.
So,
When you tell me that story, it hurts.
it hurts. It's hurting me
It
to
hurts.
hear this. No, don't tell me this.
Yeah.
And I had no idea that she had even this incident when she asked me what I do.
Well, I mean, that's what the insurance companies are really good at is downplaying your injuries,
Yes.
downplaying the severity of the situation.
Yes.
And, in my opinion, taking advantage of these people who are hopeless and less informed, And
Yeah, because her car didn't have that much bodily damage because it was a nice, car.
Yeah.
That was, geared for that, but it still doesn't take away from the fact that her son lost a tooth and that her head went back and forth really bad. She had whiplash injury, could have probably had a traumatic brain injury. In fact, from my experience working on these cases with that kind of level of impact and the way her head went, I bet you she would have some findings in our advanced imaging to show it. So it did pain me to go, hear that she didn't go follow through.
Yeah.
But that's why
you're just like dying inside. You're
Dying.
like, no.
Oh God.
But I'll
Yes.
say this. I think you brought up a great point, which is like, you have this big truck and the person that you're speaking of, and I hope she's okay.
She's
like
okay.
seems like
Yes.
still a traumatic
She's-
situation.
She's a strong fighter. I mean, definitely.
But like the insurance companies will try try that argument with me, which is like, oh, there's like not a lot of damage on the outside of the car. There's not a lot of property damage, right? And I mean, look, like I'm a younger attorney, and so I'm really grateful because I've surrounded myself. Personal injury realm is like you got a lot of great attorneys, a lot of attorneys that are really want to be out there and help you out. Mike Alder, great guy. He's always been someone that I've looked up to. There's Dordick and other lawyers, and they're always like, hey, come to come to court. Sam Nordine, another one, and it's just kind of like a diverse crowd. But my point is along the way I've picked up little nuggets, and so kind of bring this full circle, if you will. Sorry about that. Yeah. Personal injury over here, isn't assuming me. No, but there's not the property damage is low, whatever.
Yeah.
I give them an example like this, right? You go to the market and you're shopping and you're like, okay, I need eggs, right? So you go to the egg section, and what do you do when you go to that egg section and you pick up a carton? What does a normal person do? They take that carton, they open it up, right?
Yep.
Why do they open it up?
To see if there's any shells cracked.
Exactly, right?
Yes.
Because the outside of the box, the outside of the carton is fine, right?
It looks
But you
fine.
still open it up and
like
there could be a crack. You're like, that. Okay.
I like that.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, and then if there is a cracked shell in there, that might be a previous condition.
Correct.
They may even have an eggshell injury. There you go.
Okay, you beat me to it. Yes. I should have taken charge on that. That's great. Yeah, so I don't buy that. I mean, the whole what I mean by not buying it is the insurance adjuster is trying to downplay it
all.
That's their job. That's their job, is to downplay it,
I mean, even that guy got out of that truck and I apparently told her, I didn't even hit you that hard. Look at the car. I'm not even going to call the cops.
He's like, look at my truck. There's nothing. There's no damage to it.
Exactly. Meanwhile, our son's like crying and it's trauma. And
he had that cracked tooth before.
Exactly.
How do we know that his tooth wasn't cracked?
Exactly. You hear it all. Yeah. And so hence the reason why we need people like you that really do take that initiative and that care and that genuine compassion for what these people are going through, and understanding that you have the resources to help this person in whatever capacity they are in. So
I appreciate the compliment.
Yeah.
You really know how to make a brown man blush.
Well.
Okay, no comments. Okay.
Yes, this is good. This is good. I love it. There we go. Wonderful. I love the banter here. It's fun.
So when we started talking, you were telling me that you've kind of been in this TBI realm for quite some time, right?
Yes.
And so what that to me is interesting in a way, and I feel like you kind of give us hope in a way, right? As attorneys, because I think the insurance companies have done a great job in convincing us that TBI, there's no TBI there,
right?
Mild TBI, you know what you're talking about, concussion. No, he's just got a little bit of a headache, dizziness. He's drunk.
Yeah, it'll go away.
Nausea and vomiting. Well, probably came from the bar,
right?
Seizures, just a shake. Fatigue. Oh, I'm just tired. It's just to me, it's I think it's so important to kind of continue to educate, the public, because it's not only important for attorneys to see certain signs or symptoms and act upon that, because in a way we have a duty to our clients to make them whole.
Right.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm not a doctor, but what I can do is a client comes to me and they have no clue what to do or to how they can handle, dealing with this pain. I mean, this is daily pain or the, different scenarios.
And all they want is to get back to what they felt before that incident.
Yeah.
They just want to feel normal again.
And that's so important. And, for me, it's so interesting because being an attorney, well, I'm always getting friends or family that will be like, oh man, you're a personal injury attorney. Let me go and walk out in front of the street and get hit by a commercial car or a truck or something. And I'm like, look, all all BS aside,
Yeah.
I'm like, based off of my experience and based off of my clients' stories, you never want to be in that situation.
No.
$1 billion don't matter because like that person's life is changed forever. To like, those big cases that you see, like I highly respect those attorneys because I feel like are getting some semblance of justice
Yes.
for those people who have been, traumatically injured in so many different ways.
Oh
And
yeah, it's
so,
life changing. Even if you don't have a traumatic brain injury, you could have, a significant injury somewhere else, or even just the trauma of seeing somebody, fatally injured. And
yeah,
that's,
yeah,
life changing to even be in part of that. So there's so much going around, even the post traumatic stress around it.
absolutely.
That's life changing. So if you can be some calm in that storm for these people that their life has completely changed for, the worst. If these are the worst moments in a person's life if they've been involved in something like this. So to have that person really make them feel safe and secure that they are going to find hope and that there is going to be answers and hopefully some kind of resolution to the pain that they're having. Because yeah, money is something, but it doesn't buy you that normalcy feeling again.
Yeah, look, I have, I have a case, and there's like a multi-car accident, and it happened about probably a year and a half ago, and it was during a pretty heavy storm, and um, you know. There was a situation in which one of the vehicles lost control and ended up, striking and crashing into other vehicles. One of them happened to be, my client, and the person that's vehicle first started this whole chain reaction, ended up passing away, and then there was other, people that were involved whose life have changed. I mean, there's like a 20-something-year-old who, has to now, be on, anti-seizure medication for the rest of her life. I mean,
Wow.
that, it, is 500 or a million or 2 million. Is that worth it to like have to like wake up every morning and take that medication or have to worry about
When's the next time?
yeah. Like, all right. I don't know the full details in terms of like,
Yeah.
what their situation is with even their driving, because when you are a person that's like narcoleptic or has seizure issues, I think you lose your driving privileges. I'm pretty
Yes,
sure,
I
because
would imagine.
depending on the severity, I think,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for me, it's like I always tell them, I'm just like kind of, I'm like, the money sounds great in a way, but I'd rather just be able to live a normal life,
Yeah.
But for the people that don't have that,
Yeah.
that's where we come in to help. I
Yes.
always tell my clients that look, I'm here to be your sword and shield.
Yeah.
And I think that brings them some comfort,
It does.
because at the end of the day, I think that they want closure, and sometimes that closure is in the form of money.
Yeah, sometimes it can be. It helps them at least feel like some kind of justice around it.
Yeah.
So that's great. But yes, I agree that the education needs to be continuing out there for especially the mild traumatic brain injury cases, because these people, are sometimes it's harder for these people to even get that treatment than the ones that have a severe, traumatic brain injury, because then it's obvious, right? So those mild ones, those concussions, those people walking around are feeling out of it. They're not the same, but they're being told they're normal because of a brain scan that says they're normal,
Yeah.
right? Then you're now walking down a road of bad, because you're not getting the right treatment. Now you're psyching yourself out because they're telling you you're normal, and now you're not. So what do you believe, right? So having the resources and the tools to be able to show when somebody is, traumatically brain injured is key.
Yeah. I think that's, I think you hit it right on the dot. It's about the right tool, right? It's like, you don't use a butter knife to cut a steak. right? So like,
It's a good analogy. Yes,
you know, so
absolutely.
like, I mean, there's different tools to kind of, you know, find the different issues
Yeah.
or you know, problems that you're
Yeah, to
dealing
really
with and
hone
facing.
in on what's going on. And so, yeah, with this level of imaging, it's nice to be able to know, yes, this part of the lobe of the brain is injured. And what, that makes sense because in a clinical finding, their symptoms are indeed that part of the brain that it's
Yeah.
controlling. So it's really nice to be able to have that technology now, and that we're in the artificial intelligence world now. It can be a good thing, especially when it can measure down to deviations on how bad this person is.
Yeah.
So it's really informative. It's great to be able to have this now. And we can have more answers for these people that typically wouldn't have before. And you would be surprised at how many people are actually brain injured when they're in a car wreck that may not have been in a big impact. They just have to have some whiplash type of injury,
Or hit a window,
hit a
or hit their
window.
steering wheel, or airbag pops, and you know, maybe you have a bloody nose, but and then it comes down to like downplaying that, and so like the thing that like I think it frustrates my clients a lot, and I think as attorneys it frustrates us as well, is not only did this person experience this traumatic event, life event, but now they're being told that it's not
It's
there.
really not that
It's not
bad.
there. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not there.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, could you imagine the gaslighting on that?
Yes.
It's like an abusive boyfriend, girlfriend,
Right.
however you want to look
I
at
know
it,
you don't.
significant other,
Yes.
and it's like, nah, you're good.
Yeah.
Like, that's frustrating, to be quite
Yeah.
honest with you.
And you were saying before that we were starting this, is that you were talking about how some of your clients, you'll get in a wreck and they'll go to the emergency room and they're getting a CT scan or something, but maybe that's not what's triggering their pain right now. Maybe they're having issues with an orthopedic injury or a spine injury that's taking over the traumatic brain injury at the time.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah, and it's like speaking to, because I like to talk to the doctors that are treating my clients. I like to understand what is what my client is experiencing, because as attorneys we need to understand what the pain and suffering aspect of
Yes.
of their injury is, and so like for my clients, the doctors will tell me it's like, I think they say distraction injury. Like they have all of these other things that are going on in their body that are sort of distracting them from the main issue. And you brought up a good point though when we were talking, which is like, well, all of like those pain signals, if you will, it's from the brain.
It's from the brain.
Right? It's like, so like,
That's where we feel pain, is the brain is the one sending that signal that it's in pain in our arm, in our leg, in our spine.
Exactly. Brain's like, shooting you a message and
Yep.
saying, hey, like you have a
Yep.
broken leg. And you're like, oh gosh, I have a broken
Right.
leg.
We're going to take care of that first, obviously, because that's, that's precedent.
Yeah. Let's fix the broken leg first.
Fix the broken leg.
Yeah.
But then what we find afterwards is possibly once they're recovering from that, they're now recognizing that things are different from their executive function, or their behavior is now off. Maybe they're treating their spouse or kids or family different.
Yeah.
And maybe they can't even recognize that because they're thinking, well, it's because I was in pain with my leg. And now that they're, recovering, now these remnants of a traumatic brain injury might be there, because now those symptoms are showing up. They're not so apparent in the beginning, and that's why a lot of people get pushed aside, that they don't have a traumatic brain injury, because maybe there's no documentation of that.
Yeah.
But when you unpeel the onion layers back and you can actually see that, oh, it was a significant hit, that yes, their head did have some kind of coup contra coup whiplash injury.
Sorry, is that French? Coup contra?
I love it. Coup contra coup. I know, I love saying that medical
Okay,
term.
she's using big words with me now, people. All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Let the record show that she's making me feel dumb. You read a lot of books, don't you?
Well, I have to attribute that to working in the visual media world. You have to
Oh,
understand the medical terminology of
yeah,
things, right? To
yeah.
be able to explain what you're doing. So that's where I can get my little
So
certification.
a little Latin, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, yeah,
So yeah, coup contra coup is what it's called.
yeah, yeah,
Whiplash. And when that head is shaking against that skull, that jagged, sharp edged skull that we have, and you've got this jello like substance, smacking it back and forth against that skull. You don't have to have an actual hit against the head in order for that injury to happen. And that's where we are finding the axonal injury, and that shearing is happening because that brain is shaken, and now we have those fiber tracts that are making those connections in each lobe of the brain. And if they no longer can because they've actually been sheared or split in half, and that's why somebody might not have that behavior that they had prior. And
yeah. And it's funny you say that. It's like a couple years ago, I was working for another firm at the time, and there was a big case that I was working on, and this particular client was struck by a bus, and well, the bus ended up running into a bunch of other cars, and then ran into my client, and basically he got really messed up. Okay, and this I didn't know him from before, right? But when you can just like read a person and you can talk to someone and you go, there's something going on here. There's something a little bit deeper here. And what do I mean by that? Get calls in and there'd be like low frustration tolerance, you know? It's like, hey, we've only been talking for like 30 seconds. What do you mean get to the point? Or what do you mean?
Wow,
Like, why are
yes.
you raising your voice? Or why are you angry? It's like a switch, you know? And,
You
and
can actually see it right in
you
front
can
of you.
see it right in front of you. And it's such a trip. And then it's like, it's, so for me, it's like kind of putting a puzzle together in a way, right?
Yes,
And you
that's
have
what I
this
call it.
puzzle, right? You have
Yep.
this puzzle, and sometimes there's a piece missing. And like I think that's like how they see it. It's like they can't figure it out. They don't know where this piece is, and they're trying to put it there, and it frustrates them more because there's some fogginess, or
Yes.
they forget a word, or
That's
they forgot. I've had clients where they've had to have their spouse label things which they never had to do before. This is like this is Honey Nut Cheerios, this is coffee, this is
right.
things like that, because it's like it I don't know how to
That part
explain
of
it. It's just
well,
like, yeah, it's just
that's
not
there you
functioning.
go.
It's just
That's
not
the part of
clicking.
the brain that's probably sheared
Yeah.
because it's not connecting. And basically what it is it's measuring the water molecules that are going, and water is supposed to flow nicely, just fluid.
Yeah.
But when you have a kink in the hose, or you've got a cut in the hose, it's now going to leak out, or that kink is going to be stopping that signal.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening in our brain when you have that kind of whiplash injury. And yeah, that's why it's so, hard to notice from outside looking at somebody. They look fine. It's
Yeah.
normal. But when they're actually going to uh, do their normal parts of their day
Yeah.
and in conversation or what they're doing in activity, that's where it comes up.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't recognize it if you just didn't know this person.
I mean, look, and this is not a plug for Target, but I'll say
No,
this,
I
like,
love it.
you walk into, for me, I walk into Target, and, well, all of a sudden I'm like walking out with one bag, and I've been in there for like 2 hours. Like, I'm so mad at myself about that. But
I know.
these people walk in, these people, my clients, or, these people that have been involved in these situations, they're a lot, they're a lot better than me when it comes to like knowing what they want. I'm just kind of going because I'm bored, but
Sure.
they are like, they've made their decision. Like, I need these things, right? Then they go in, as soon as they pass through those doors into the market, it's like blankness.
What am I here
Yeah, what am I here for? What do I need? And it's
Wow.
and those are those little things.
Yep.
There's these little things. And I
I
think
like
you brought
that.
up a good point.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't have to like, I think there's this misconception, like in order to be diagnosed with a traumatic brain injury or a mild TBI, you know, we need to see that your head is split open. Like what?
Yeah.
Could there be a small abrasion, or could I hit my
Right.
head? Yeah, I mean,
Right.
the body is so complex, right?
It
It's so
is.
like, I don't know, like every
It's
part of your body
connected.
it's
Yeah.
connected, right?
Yeah.
So if there's like a if there's like one gear in your body that just kind of stops working or isn't working right,
Yeah.
it's going to change, how you proceed,
Yeah.
you know?
It sure will.
So
Absolutely. Well, I love all the analogies that you've used and the experiences that you've had.
I'm writing a book. No, I'm
I
just
love
joking.
it. You should. Well, April you started, and now you're already here December, and
Yeah.
you're building your practice. It's great. That's awesome. You've just got a great um, office building that you're in, and
Got a good
you're working
team.
with your mom. That's
Yep.
amazing, and your brother,
Yep.
who is a liaison for your firm,
My
and
dad, my dad helps out too.
dad
Yeah, he
helps
does some
out.
admin stuff.
I mean, what better way to make somebody feel at home while going through such a hard time in their life?
Well, I
So,
mean, that could be a good thing or a bad thing.
yeah, that's true. Depends on what their home
I
is
need,
like,
I
right?
need, I need a break sometimes.
Yeah,
I'm just
that is true. Oh, like you. Yeah, I get
Yeah,
that.
no, but
Yes,
we're
but
very
no, you
we're
can
family
tell.
we're very family oriented,
You can
and
tell.
we're I think that everyone comes from different backgrounds, different situations, right? I am fortunate, I am blessed, I am
Yeah.
grateful, like that. We have a united front. I'll tell you something. Like again, I don't my practice isn't huge. I don't know where it's gonna go from here,
Sure.
and my expectations aren't extremely high, but I think that what makes my practice so strong is that I have a good team. I think you met a lot of my staff. It's like
Yes,
it's all
it's
it's like
great.
a woman-owned business in a way,
Yes. No, I love it. I love the female power that's
Yeah,
here.
yeah, I'm about it.
We bring that emotional touch to the equation, and we can help it be that light in the storm, if you will, for these people, because that mother nature that females bring to the table, it's
Absolutely.
nice. It's a nice thing to have. And so what was going to ask you is, what is your what is your favorite part about being a lawyer?
Oh wow.
What is that?
Yeah, yeah.
I believe you answered it though. It's that being that guide in that hard part in their world of hardship. You're that person that can be, that hero for them.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said earlier. I think that being able to turn people's pain into power.
Yeah, perfect.
I really do.
Make them the hero.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I give them back their power. Because they feel it's like giving a voice to the voiceless. People. I think the hardest part for people that have been involved in personal injury incidents is being able to tell their story.
Yes.
And so it's
Yes,
like
that's true.
it's like an architect, like okay, like laying the foundation and building this bridge for the client to like sort of walk across. Well, I help build that bridge so that
Yes.
they can go across and get to the other side, and that other side is victory. Hopefully, it doesn't always work out that way though.
Right. You do your best.
Yeah,
You
but
know.
that's the thing that's tough in this line of business is I'm sure doctors see it as well, which is
Yeah.
like, you know, sometimes a client doesn't always get the result that they want. Sometimes we find out facts that really go against them, and it's really tough for us to proceed with that, right?
Yes.
And so
It's
I
just the
think
way the dynamics happen. Yeah.
absolutely, and it doesn't happen all the time, thankfully. Otherwise, I'd be out of business. But
I would say another issue or hard thing is when these people are injured and they don't have a good enough policy
yeah.
to really cover their treatment or get the right tools to help
Oh,
them.
that's
That's
huge.
probably the
No,
hardest
that's
part.
that's that's huge. I mean, and the thing is it's for me, it's kind of crazy in the sense that California's you know the legal like
minimum.
the legal minimum that you must have to drive is 15,030.
ridiculous.
You know, and so like if you look at the states around California, the policy limits are actually much higher, starting out like you know all of them, Washington and Oregon, and I'm not going to allow you to test me on geography on this, but hey, look at a map and then you'll be able to see. But those states, and you go online, check out what those minimal policies are, what's required, and they're completely they're higher, you know. And why is that concerning for me? It's concerning because we have a state that's got 40 million plus people. Accidents happen every day, and so it's like to not have coverage that you know kind of aligns with the economic market, and you know what food and groceries cost, and what a car costs. You know, like oh, okay, 5,000 PD or property damage. You know, it's like, okay, where can you find a car that's $5,000? Like, you know,
it just doesn't add up.
No, it doesn't. No. So that's tough, you know.
Yeah, but the minimums are going up a little bit, right?
Yeah, they are going into play. Yeah. So well, you know,
thankfully,
that should be good.
It's a little better, but it's not by much. I know that.
Yeah, well, you know, it's a start.
It's a start.
Yeah, and so that's the thing is like, you know, for my clients, and for others, I'm sure, is like it comes down to education. Again, you know, I'd love to be in a place where I could find time to like speak to the public, just generally, not like attorney events, not medical events, like to the public, and say, hey, look, this is how to best like prepare yourself to protect yourself. You know, I even tell people, hey, like hit me up. I'd be happy to look at your policy declaration.
Yeah,
I'll take a look at it.
Exactly.
So I tell you what you're missing, or what you could use, because insurance agents, like, they'll be like, "Oh, you're fully covered." That is like the biggest farce. Like that is really the biggest BS ever. What does fully coverage mean? Is there such a thing?
Yeah.
There's no such thing as full coverage.
No, there really isn't.
There's no such thing. So like that to me is like the biggest misrepresentation when it comes to insurance.
Yep.
Where you're like, you tell a person you're fully covered, and then that person gets involved in an accident and they realize, like, you know, they're not. That's hard.
Yeah. So it is definitely a misconception out there. Just definitely, obviously, you know why. But yeah, hopefully the times are changing. Hopefully things will, you know, be better in this next year. I think that we're on to some good things.
Well, they say power to the people, right?
Power to the people.
People have to like speak up. People have to do something about it, you know?
Use your voice.
You know, but the insurance lobby, and this is not a conspiracy, but like,
right.
Like, insurance lobby is strong. It's powerful. You know, I'll give them that credit, but as attorneys and doctors and all that, we got to come together.
Yes, absolutely, and be that common ground for these people. So come together, see eye to eye. It's nice when doctors and attorneys can get on that same page. It's great for everyone. And but yeah, so I know you don't necessarily know where your things are going, but it sounds like you're going to be growing here. So hopefully we'll be, you know, getting to that point where you may even need a little more bigger office.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, more money, more problems, right?
Yeah, I know. But you know what? I love that you've kept it very, you know, not very small, but you are small enough, but yet big enough to handle, you know, more cases on. But that's that personable touch.
Yeah, that's exactly, you said it right there. Yeah. It's like, I don't want to lose that.
No.
You know, like, I think it's so important
really good.
You know, when my clients, like, or potential clients, they'll call and they'll be like, sometimes they'll ask me, well, like, why should I go with you, or why should I go with this other person?
Yeah.
And I'll tell them, I was like, look, you know, you go into a boutique, right? And I consider myself a real boutique firm. I don't have 20, 30 staff. I don't, you know, I don't have 40 associates. And again, not hating on those people, like, that's what they want to do, fine. But for me,
we need them all.
You know, like, for me, it's like, it's so important to like keep it where it's manageable in a way, because I you know, my clients like to work with me because again, I'm giving them like this boutique experience, white gloves treatment, like I'm hands on with their
where you're
case.
actually visiting them in their home. You're
Yeah.
going to the hospital.
Yeah.
You're actually in their life.
Yeah, I'll tell you, like, if we have time, I can tell you,
Absolutely,
like,
we
okay,
do.
so like there was a case that I was working on. It was, I'll say it's like one of the more like harder cases, emotionally, right, that I had to like that I took on. There was these young kids under 21 um, who went to a restaurant and they were served alcohol, and IDs really weren't checked or whatnot, and they ended up driving to some type of underground club, if you will, and they, that place wasn't checking IDs or anything either. And there's like 4 or 5 of them, and they end up driving back home around 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and the driver loses control and wipes out, car flips, and one of the passengers flies out the front window.
Oh my gosh.
And just dies.
Wow.
And so
Just like that.
yeah, and it's like, and in a moment that all of those kids' lives
Yeah.
changed, right?
Yes.
And spoke with the mother of the deceased, the decedent, if you will, and she's there's this like emptiness, there's like there's a void, and
That's tough.
yeah, for me it's like, wow, okay, that seems pretty heavy, and
Yeah.
so like they invited me to their home because they were having service, if you will. It was actually it was very different for me, I guess, like like the Spanish community does it different. Like they consider it as like a celebration of life.
Yes.
They had like a whole ass mariachi band,
Right.
and like people were drinking, and
It does give that nicer feel to what's going on.
Yeah, and so
It's
like,
really the spirit is still alive in another realm, but here they celebrated their life now.
exactly. And I was
Yeah.
like, I was like, for me, I was like, I'm like, wow, this is different, in a way, but it was actually, it was really special too. And so like, I'm speaking with the family, and I'm speaking with the kids that were in the car, and each of them has their own traumatic thing that went on with them, what they saw, what they experienced, how they're feeling, and how they're like navigating those feelings and those emotions, right? So, anyways, I ended up going after, these entities, and settled that shit for $1 million, but gave that, mom came, picked up the check, and she's super grateful. But that money
It's not going to bring her
didn't,
kid back.
it didn't. And it's like, I mean, I'm putting this package together to like, kind of rewinding here, if you will, but I'm putting this package together to send to those entities or insurance companies or, whatever. And I'd asked the mom to send me photographs, and that was tough, to be honest with you. Yeah, that was tough. That was like really tough to see like them like happy and like together, and like smiling, and this is her son, and so that was tough, but I helped her.
But also to be that person to give her that check, and to be able to say, I know this doesn't help you, with bringing your child back, but to be that person for her in this whole, like, the worst moments of her life.
Absolutely. And the interesting part about this is so she got her money, and I found out recently that she's still working 2 jobs.
Wow.
And so I was telling my staff, because they know the case well, and we all agreed, it's like, it's idle hands, right? You don't want to sit and think with your thoughts.
No.
Right?
Right.
And so
got to keep yourself busy.
Yeah, and so like one of the things, like, I think would be, I would say, is the hardest part sometimes being an attorney is kind of taking that home with you and absorbing that.
Yeah.
Kind of like living with that, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, look, I, you're not going to be a good attorney or a great attorney if you allow every single case to affect you emotionally, right? But there's always going to be one or two.
Yes. Of
There's always going to be
You're a
one or
human
two.
being.
Yeah. Like,
You're not.
regardless of what the public thinks of attorneys, yeah, we actually have a heart. Okay, we actually have emotions. You know, we don't just have dollar bills like, you know, rolling in our hand like heads like a slot machine. But
you know, when I first started almost 13 years ago in this personal injury arena, and I would tell family or friends that, oh yeah, I work with personal injury attorneys. That's my world now. They'd, oh, I'm so sorry. You know, the perspective that, you know, that the world has, it's unfortunate, because I would say the opposite. And I got the pleasure of working with multiple attorneys across this country, and I'd have to say there's more good that I've come across than those that are just doing it for the money.
oh,
You know,
absolutely.
it's really, you could see if they're trial lawyers, they are in it, you
Oh,
know, and that's
absolutely.
what you were doing. So I mean, it's, you got to have a heart to be a personal injury attorney. Otherwise, you just can't even do this job.
No,
You just
exactly.
can't. I
Yeah.
mean, you can, but like you can get that.
Well, the good attorneys are the ones that are invested in their clients, like emotionally sometimes as well,
Yeah.
you know, because like, you know, you're gonna fight for them. You're gonna write that motion. You're
Yeah.
gonna go to those hearings. You're gonna go to trial.
Yeah.
You're gonna, you know, you're not gonna
Yeah.
take whatever the insurance company is like telling you what you should take, you
Right.
know,
Yeah.
or, you know.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
for me, it's like I think navigating that, and you know what, so like, okay, what does Hanny do to, like, you know, get out of his head? Well, you know, I spend time with my girl, and you
Yeah.
know, or her dog
Yeah. What gives
Apollo.
you that life balance,
Yeah,
right? Because
no,
you
I
got to
mean,
have it.
you have to, and so like, yeah, I spend time with my girl. She gets me out of my head. We go
Good.
to the farmers market,
That's great.
and you know, do regular people things. You know, we'll go to concerts and shows,
Yes.
and we haven't seen the movies. Like, we haven't gone to the movies since we dated. She doesn't like movies. She's like, I don't think she can sit there and just
I don't
like
blame her.
look at a screen and
I
just
don't
not
blame
do
her.
anything.
You know, I don't think I really, I have two TVs in my house. I haven't really turned them on in 5 years, I think. I mean, I will every once in a while with my kids watch a movie, but I understand that I can't sit still. Well, I have to be doing something. There's just so much to do in this life,
Yeah.
in good things, right? And so it's just, it's hard to just sit there and just be entertained like that, but it does still help you to get outside of what you're doing and just kind of veg out and watch something, you know, another life story.
Yeah, no, I
You
think it's
know,
like
but
I think
that's,
it's like technology, you know, like with the advent of technology and how it's gotten like more intelligent, more sophisticated. There's good and bad that comes with that, right? The good is that we have medical technology that has advanced to such a point where people can live longer, and are, you know, the diagnoses are a lot more accurate, right? And then look at the other side of it, right? Is like sometimes social media can be um, uh, a dark hole, you know, in a way,
yeah,
you know. So
yeah,
I look,
can be.
I take responsibility too, you know.
Yeah,
Like
no, we all are.
sometimes it's like 2 hours later, and I'm like,
Yeah, like,
wait,
well,
I'm here.
yes, yes, yes.
Okay, like I need to get out the toilet and go, you know.
Yes, I know.
No, but like,
Especially if you don't have a cushion on
yeah,
there.
exactly. Oh, like, oh, my legs don't work. You know, I need to shake this out. I need to shake this out. But no, like, and there's other good things. It's like communicating with family, you know, and being able to FaceTime and those things. And I think that's really cool. But you know, like I try to do my best to, like, you know, get out more, see
Yeah,
more, you know, because
yeah.
tomorrow's not promised. I
It's
think I see
not.
that. I see that with like
Oh,
doing
you,
what I
well,
do,
yeah. How
and I'm
can you
like,
not?
you know, like
You got
I
to
can
appreciate these moments.
walk across the street, you know, just get just get slammed by a bus or something, and I'm gone.
Yeah.
Sorry, is that like, I don't want us to end on that dark
No,
note.
no, we won't. We won't. What we'll say is, you know what? It's good. It's a good transition to say appreciate the moments.
Absolutely.
Because you don't know what can happen. And you have to take yourself out of this. It can be a dark world if you allow it to be. These people are hurt, they're calling you, they're complaining, da, da, da. And it's hard to just not take that on. So good for you getting outside the box and going and doing things, going into nature, spending time with your girlfriend. These are things that keep us, going. So
I think like COVID happened, like people were like locked down for a little bit, right? People forgot like how to socialize.
They did.
People forgot like how to go outside,
Yeah.
And
I'm kind of done on purpose.
It might be a generalization, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but it's true. I mean, because humans, we're supposed to be connected.
Yeah.
It's just part of who we are. That's in our makeup, is to be with companions and to be with other humans. And so to put us isolated like that, that's where we can go down a bad dark hole, So it is good to get out there and understand that people are just like you and going through the same things, and we all have emotions, same, and especially in these times. And I mean, knowing where you even came from, like your original came from, I mean, like that could be a whole other podcast we can do. So and but it just goes to show, at the end of the day, no matter what color you are, gender you are, it doesn't matter. We all have the same emotions.
Yeah.
And how are those triggered and how do we react to them is the most important thing that we can even understand. And so if you can find those areas that give you that life balance outside of the crazy that we are in this industry, the better.
It's absolutely necessary.
It's necessary.
I mean, every morning I get up and I'll walk, the beach.
Do some exercise, get your brain going. Yeah.
Sometimes I'll do meditation.
My favorite.
Yeah. So kind of like being present. I'm trying to get Eden, my staff here, to get us to do some yoga, because I guess she's like a yoga instructor or something.
Oh well, yeah. I love yoga, so definitely that's
that's
what I love.
I think it'd be pretty cool to incorporate that in my office, have that. Do you remember when we were younger, kindergarten, first grade, whatever, they had nap time?
Oh yeah, it was the best.
Can we bring that back?
Can we bring that back? Yeah, even in the office setting. I remember we had our own little sleeping bag type of thing.
Well, in Spain, they have siestas, right?
They have siestas, why can't we do that here?
And people be hating.
Yes, I know.
America doesn't want to do it that way.
I'm telling you, this world would be a better place if everybody did take a few minutes and meditate every day.
Absolutely.
100%. And yoga is considered meditation. Dancing can be meditation. Working out, you name it. We have to give our brains that break.
I think that people are uncomfortable with just sometimes sitting with
In
their thoughts.
Thoughts, yeah.
Really 15 minutes. Just not, I think it.
Well, it's actually, the design of meditation is to not think about anything. And that's the challenge, because we have so much coming in that it's hard to shut it off. But that's what is most important, is that you do shut it off. And so there are ways that you can do that. And how I started is just, paying attention to your breath.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you do. And when that thought comes in, just take it back to that breath. Or I put on a mobile fan that has a noise, white noise.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And so then you just focus on that and you just sit there. And if you just do 15 minutes without thinking of a thought, you actually feel that brain almost expand. You can feel it. It just opens up. You feel lighter.
Absolutely. And that's the thing is I have the Calm app that's another plug. Sorry. I plug Target and Calm. That's fine.
Yeah. Well,
are you going to get some sponsorships?
I've got even a better one called Brain Tap. And
Brain Tap.
You'll have to see this.
Check it out. But
we've done podcasts on it.
So. Yeah. So I don't know, my sister's a licensed clinical social worker, and she put me on game with the Calm app, and I've used it for years now. And it's
Right.
great because, like, you have 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7,
Yes.
whatever, and it's like,
All
it
valuable.
guided. It's super valuable. It's like when people are like, you go and get a gym membership, right? Well, you're like exercising and working out your like muscles and different things. I think it's super important, whether that be through, professional therapy or this like meditation, like guided meditation. It's important to exercise your brain, like your mind, your body, your soul, your spirit, right?
Wow,
I got all deep with you.
You're just speaking my talk.
I
This is
know,
what I
right?
speak
Yeah.
about. And but yes, you have to do that because that's what's going to give you the space to have those downloaded thoughts that are powerful, that you can be in that space to react to these clients in a way that is helpful instead of coming at them with your own crazy, so you have to clear that mind, and the only way to do that really is through meditation.
Yeah.
And wonderful for you to already be a part of that. I mean, that's a whole another podcast we could do. It's just all about that.
Yeah, seriously. Honestly, if I didn't incorporate that in like to my life, I'd probably be like
Yeah.
in jail.
Yes. I'm not kidding.
Crazy,
Yes.
crazy lawyers out there running in the streets with a
Yes.
machete,
Yes. Well, good for you. I'm so glad to hear that you do take that time, because that's important with everything that you're doing.
It makes you a better
and
person.
It does make you a better person.
It does. And it's like not only for you, but it's for your like your relationships and the people around you. Right?
Perfectly said. 100%. Because how can you give of yourself if you're not taking care of it?
If you're not balanced, you're also not going to like you're not going to receive balanced people within your lives, right?
Yes.
You're not going to see these red flags and whatnot,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So like it's so
Gives
important
you
to
that
kind of
clarity.
exactly.
Yes. It's a way to put it.
Are you in my brain?
I know.
I'm in your brain, aren't I?
Yeah, because we're on that same vibe. We get that.
Yeah.
We understand. That's when you raise that consciousness to that kind of understanding, now things can kind of flow at you a little bit easier, and it's not so challenging when crazy is coming at you, because you've allowed your brain to settle in. And what I was going to say is your brain is a muscle. Just like we do the bicep curls with weights to grow this, we still have to grow our brain. And in order to exercise that brain, you have to shut it off.
Yeah.
It's like the opposite, right? But that's exactly what we got to do.
Imagine telling a lawyer like, "Hey, don't think about it."
I know. Yeah, that's not going to work.
But it's important. No,
But it is.
it's like it is. I mean,
yeah.
I don't think it works for a lot of lawyers or a lot of people in different professions. But I think that I could say that if I were to say, like, okay, what is one thing that you could ask of the world to do every day, and it will make the world 1% better?
Oh my gosh, this is what I say.
It would be to be
We would
grounded
raise
in
the
meditation, to be present, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We would be more present.
Absolutely.
We'd be more understanding. We'd be more compassionate for other people, because we've allowed our brain to settle into that. And it would raise the collective consciousness of the whole community, world, whatever it is, if everybody took 1 to 2 minutes to just do that meditation.
Absolutely. I mean, we're not asking for
agree
much.
with you.
1 to 2 minutes.
1 to 2 minutes.
Yeah. Let's do
I
it.
love it. I love it. And what I call with Brain Tap, we're trying to better 1 billion brains. If we can better 1 billion brains, where would this world be?
Oh, it'd be in a much better place.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. So,
Yeah.
okay, we're tagging up on this meditation and promoting it more for sure. Who knew? Who knew that you were just in line with that kind of thing? I mean, truly, that's what I do every day.
Well, the universe brought us together for some reason, right?
It
Like
did.
it had, this happened.
Big believer
Yeah,
in it.
yeah.
And what you put out there, you do get back.
Yeah.
And so I believe in all of that. Law of attraction is real. And if you can just raise that vibration enough, then you can, be that better trial attorney, be that better person to your spouse, be that better person to that your child. It's all around an amazing thing to do. But with that, gosh, we could talk for hours.
Oh yeah. Well,
and so
maybe if you allow me, I'll come back. I had a great conversation.
Absolutely. So yes, we're building a studio. We definitely would love to have you on again, and we've got plenty to talk about, especially with this next year coming in. There's going to be a lot of great changes in this space. So, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for
and
having
with
me.
that, I really appreciate, I know people will learn from this conversation for sure.
Well, I hope so.
And if you want to get a hold of Hani, how can they find you?
Yeah, so my office is in Irvine, but we serve all of California. I'm also licensed in DC.
I read your website.
You did a little research on me.
I did a little bit.
Yeah.
I love the website.
Thank you.
It's very informative.
Thank you.
Very well written.
Yeah. So you can go to www.hhlawfirm.law. You can also give us a call, 949-617-5901. We're always here to help you out and just, hear you out. Like, look, even if you don't think that you have a case, even if you think it's not personal injury related, give me a call. Like, I didn't go to personal injury school. I went to law school. So
right.
Maybe I could put you into contact with someone that can help you out.
Yeah. And that's what I say about even people that have been in a car wreck, Please call me. I'm not an attorney. I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
But I definitely know
you have a network.
Mm-hmm. Right? So, and I definitely care about somebody getting the right treatment. So, well, thank you so much. This was wonderful.
Thank you.
It was great to meet you and your amazing team here. And we'll do it again.
Sounds good. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Oh, I love it. Right at 111 too. Love it.
Look at the vibrance right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm an 1111, numbers person too.
Thank you.
Woohoo!